Well, my next guest is a remarkable young woman whose journey with heart disease inspired her advocacy for heart health. Macey Wright of Tacoma was born with 2 congenital heart defects, and despite facing significant health challenges, has not only survived but thrived. And please welcome to New Day, Macey Wright. Thank you for being here.
So good to be here, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
Oh, and so can you share your journey with us from being diagnosed to receiving then a heart transplant at the age of 14, right?
That's correct, yeah. You know, my whole life from the 2 days after I was born, I was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect. And I had a fairly normal childhood. It was just routine maintenance. I had a small handful of open heart surgeries and I was doing well. I was even in gymnastics, I was doing sports, I was pushing through the best I could, which, you know, what made me happy. You didn't want to let a heart defect limit you in any way.
Definitely.
But then it got to the point where it was beyond repair and I was 13 years old and you hear we can do no more. We just have to list you for a heart transplant, which I was terrified of. You know, it comes with its own set of problems, but in reality, I have been able to be an advocate for the American Heart Association. I've become an ambassador, and I'm here to share my story with other women of my age, with children, to be a voice for them now with my success story.
Yes, it is such a success. And you touched on this, like, how did it affect your daily life? Because you were in gymnastics and your passion for that. So was there a point where you kind of had to taper that off?
Yeah, I did. I retired from gymnastics when I was 14, you know, just before I had my transplant. You know, I was listed for about 6 months, and through that point, it was like I got sick so quickly. You know, I was always feeling those symptoms of fatigue and shortness of breath. I was always a little limited in my physical activity, but once those 6 months leading up to my transplant happened, I had days where I could hardly go up the stairs, I couldn't go to school, and on my 14th birthday, it was 1 week before my transplant, I blew out the candles on my birthday cake and I was like, all right, I'm sick and tired of this, I don't feel well, I can't even eat my birthday cake, I feel sick, I'm dying, I need a miracle. And then 1 short week later, it came to me and I've been in excellent health ever since.
Oh, that's so amazing. And you touched on this on like the biggest challenges, but is there one that you could really pinpoint before you got your heart transplant? Was it the mental, physical, all the above?
Yeah, honestly, I think mental is equally as important, especially with the age I was at. I had an older brother and my younger sister. She was 2 years old at the time, and I have my parents with me and my whole extended family, my grandparents. You know, they're looking at their teenage daughter who still has so much life to live. So I think the biggest challenge for me was trying to keep my family supported through it too. You know, they had their own trauma because of that situation, but it's just another miraculous thing to show is that I've now graduated college. I'm living life on my own and managing my health, and I'm sure they love to see it. They're very happy to see me thriving now.
Oh, and there you are with your family. So amazing to see you thriving. And how has your experience with heart disease really shaped your perspective then on, you know, life and health?
Yeah, for me, it's all about living in the moment, because I've kind of learned, okay, nothing is guaranteed and you're only in this body once. What matters is that you take care of it regardless of any predisposed conditions that you have. You live in the moment and you don't take it for granted. You know, I've had this second chance and I intend for it not to be wasted. You know, I'll still have some bumps in the road along the way. This heart won't last forever, unfortunately, but it'll take me far enough that I've graduated, I'm starting my first career. You know, life is still happening, and I want to advocate for everybody else out there that you can still achieve goals and live a very fulfilling life even with heart disease.
Yeah, and so you're out hiking now. I mean, talk to me about how it's been after the process too.
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what life was like before my transplant. You know, this is a healthy heart. You know, I still have to get my labs done, take my meds. I still have routine maintenance things, but what it does for me now is it reinforces me to want to share my journey and to encourage other people to take care of their hearts and to remind them that this could happen to anybody at any age. So live a healthy lifestyle. Tell your family to live a healthy lifestyle. Hey, join me on the stairs today, or let's eat some apples with our lunch. You know, just encouraging our loved ones to also share those healthy lifestyles with us so we can prolong this heart. It's the #1 killer in women, and we want to be able to fight back against this.
Amazing. And so can you tell us more too about your involvement with Go Red for Women initiative?
What's so great is I was very involved in advocacy for this when I was like, 13, 14, and I was more of a spokesperson for the pediatric side. There are these kids that don't have voices, but there are also women are equally as misrepresented in this industry in the medical field. They aren't as encouraged to speak up about their health. It's like, oh, maybe something else is going on. Are you drinking enough water?
So
They
true.
don't get to the root cause and actually encourage you to advocate for yourself and speak up about this. And that's a big lesson I've learned throughout my health journey is I have to advocate and speak up when I think there's a problem. And that's what I want other women to take away from this.
Oh my gosh, you just gave me chills. Well, we're so excited that you came today, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. It was so great to be here.
Oh, and don't forget to wear red this Friday, February 7th, to show your support for the Go Red for Women movement.